Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the charts to take another look at XRP, what's been going on most recently and what I think is likely to happen next here for XRP. Now, as I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. And I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find there. It's completely free to sign up, so why not check it out and let me know in the comments below what you think. Right, let's jump right down into this, right? So XRP paired up with USDT like usual. We're going to start things off with the hourly chart here, and we're just going to kind of review what was going on with this triangular wedge. So in the previous video, I was talking about potential pullback. Now, obviously, this is not just isolated to XRP, it was the entire market. Bitcoin kind of led the charge with that, but obviously XRP was poised for a pullback, right? We're talking about this this triangular wedge just here, and we were talking about that pullback actually coming down towards, I think it was like 82 cents. We actually went down much lower than I was expecting, which was 77. It went all the way down there. It did bounce back up again, but again, you know, that was a really low point here. I forget that low is 77.94, right? This wick down at the bottom here, and we bounced up and obviously fell back down, found support this time on the 80 cent range. Again, we can see that this was a good area previously over here, and if we actually come back down, is there any kind of real level of support? There's a couple areas, but nothing major, I would say. So yeah, for the most part, it was an interesting time. Obviously, you know, it's just hold and you know, dollar cost average XRP, not actively trading it with my kind of hodl bag, but I do think there are some trading opportunities coming up for XRP, and I'm going to go through some of what I think is going to happen next year. So obviously we see a little bit of volatility right down here at the bottom after this wick low at 77 cents, and then this breakdown of this structure. Now this particular point here, this 77, is important because it is lower than this one here, right? So although we have 5 waves coming up, we've pulled back down much lower than this. This gives us some pretty good indication as to what this retracement is actually going on or telling us, right? Because essentially this is a C wave high that we had up here at 92.9. Well, actually a little bit higher than that. Let me just zoom in a little bit because that's just the fib level. We just take that. The high point was 93 exactly, right? And obviously there was lots of FOMO kind of bringing up this range here. Unfortunately, a lot of people probably bought at that 93 cent range. So, you know, we will potentially come back up there at some point. You know, it is not going to stay down forever, in my opinion, with where the market is going. But there is some kind of short-term correction that has been talked about for XRP for a while, right? So that 77 cent is a pretty good stab at coming down to those ranges. But if we bring back the stochastic RSI, and so this is our momentum indicator, we can obviously see that we are you know, lower in the stochastic RSI, right? Some overbought areas coming down into the oversold area, right? And that's actually getting a pretty good amount of traction, right? So we move from, you know, oversold down here to overbought at the top here, and we're pulling this down reasonably, but we're probably going to have to come down a little bit lower in terms of price to bring this into the oversold area on the stochastic. So essentially, if we start thinking about what's going on here, we had you know, move down that completes that C wave low. We move up, so we kind of want to see this. Let me just find my place. So yeah, we'll have to measure that as a move up, and then here being our low point. So this looks like we've got some kind of ABC move upwards, so we can mark that up there. So I'll show you what that looks like just here, here, and here, and then we are tracking with an ABC down, and again this becomes a little bit more important to understand that this is still corrective. Here there's a lot of resistance right here at 62.46. We can see that we've wicked past it, but we've not closed above it, and then we're pulling back down again. Now if we grab a Fibonacci retracement, we'll just grab this from here. What I'll do is make sure I get this as close as I can to these levels, make sure we get that right. Let's move it over to here. We'll put these back in place, and then we'll just put that over there. There we go. So our C wave low on this comes in at 80.24. So again, ABC up, ABC down, double corrective move there. after this correction. So this could be, finding a good level of support again on the 80 cent range. So a double bottom could be created that takes this up higher. Now that move coming down for XRP should put us into a pretty good position on the stochastic RSI on this hourly chart, right? It should put us into the oversold area. Now if we come over to the 4-hourly chart, we can see that we're already oversold. Okay, so there's room to grow up, right? So as we potentially pull this back down and reach that double bottom on this 4-hourly chart, I don't think that's going to be of anything too significant, but I do think that it's going to allow us to pull this back down into a little bit deeper of this oversold range and ready for the next move upwards. Okay, and as we come over to the 8-hourly chart, we're also in the oversold area, right? So we should be thinking about some kind of bigger move up that will not, I don't think in this particular move, go higher than this point here, okay, 93 cent. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we've had this ABC down, taking us down below that structural point of that wave 1, and we should be thinking ABC up, but probably not going higher than this point. And what that will mean is essentially is that there's a bigger ABC correction taking us down into those lower points, and essentially what that will be is lowering our daily stochastic RSI a little bit more into that range. Now, it could be a double bottom, again at 77, but basically some kind of correction move. So what I'm going to show is I'm going to show you right here. I'm going to first of all remove the fib because I don't need that on here. So as you can see, we had the ABC up, right, 93 cent. And then we see a correction, A, B, C, come down here, right? We completed that at 77 cent. So it's only plausible that we actually have a move that comes up, right? We test this low range of 80 cent again, let's hypothetically say today, and then we move on up, okay? And if this is the case, then what we can do is measure this A wave to here. We'll put that over to here, and approximately our target for this on the higher side of things would be about 85 cent. Okay, so again, as an approximate target that would also meet all of the resistance that we would have just here as well. So again, that basically means that we are probably going to get rejected from this area, and we would have maybe moved up a reasonable amount on our 4-hourly, 8-hourly chart. Maybe even the daily chart has moved quite progressively at that point. Okay, so if I remove these two, what I think that will actually look like on a slightly larger scale would be that this is A, this is probably B, and then we come down lower, reaching the kind of lower areas of around, the low 70s or high 60s, right? So thinking about where the supports and resistances are, if we were to go ahead and actually measure the distance of the A wave, transpose it over to the B wave, we can see 72 cent as a potential theoretical, because it is just theoretical at this point, low point. Okay, and that would be the correction of the daily chart being done. Okay, so there's some kind of midway bounce that goes up and then a deeper pullback there. And again, I think a lot of that actually then comes in with what has been going on, steadily here. With the other moves, right? Because we were tracking several different things on this daily chart. So, some kind of pullback. Now, originally I was kind of talking about maybe there's a weekly correction. And if we jump over to the weekly, we can see that there is some kind of correction that's going to be needed here. And 72 cent, I think, is too high to actually have that weekly chart corrected. Hopefully I'm wrong on that. And hopefully actually that would hold out really well. And, this stochastic RSI moves down to the oversold area really, really fast. Essentially, though, I would expect us to pull back down a little bit deeper, towards the 60s. And I've spoken about, 51 cent being a possibility all the way down here based on that weekly stochastic RSI. But again, until we measure those movements, we don't necessarily know for sure how low the macro is going to move until we get at least a good A wave down in on this weekly chart to be able to then hypothesize over a B wave and a C wave. So I'm mindful over all of those things, right? All of those kind of directional moves on XRP. So for now, let's really just jump back down and kind of summarize what's going on here. We have some kind of short-term pullback. I believe this is likely to hit around 80 cent. And then I think there's going to be a surge upwards. The surge upwards, I think, is going to find this upper resistance at about 85, maybe 86 cent. As you can see, the consolidation of this triangle, I think we're going to be testing that range again. We're going to get rejected from that, in my opinion, and we're going to head on down towards our 72 cent range, but it may obviously be a little bit higher than that. So again, we'll monitor that situation and see how that plays out. But ultimately, that's how I see it over the next kind of few weeks. We should have short-term pullback today. We should then start rallying over the next kind of of, over the weekend, maybe next week, we should hit around 85, 86. That's going to be just a rebound bounce. And I think there we'll actually then pull on back down. Of course, subject to change as the data does, but for now, that's kind of what I'm seeing here inside the XRP chart and what I would expect to happen next here. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.